Well, the infamous YouTube restricted mode, actually, a lot of people have got to be looking at their channel, and if you look on the bottom of their channel, there's a little thing called restricted mode. You can see it down there, it says off. So, if I did a search for Dozier, I could see, Arthur G. Dozier School for Boys in Florida, 100 Years of State Child Abuse, which I think is an important topic, right? Um, Let me just say this. You know, it's like a two-edged sword to have freedom of speech. I mean, yeah, you're not going to freaking have everything you like out there. But it's almost like what happened when they had prohibition. What did people do when they had prohibition? They went and found other ways to get the booze, right? Who the hell really pushed? Well, I know what the game was, why they pushed for prohibition behind the scenes. It was actually John D. Rockefeller who gave millions and millions of dollars to certain women of the suffrage movement and stuff that would say, oh, lips that touch alcohol shall not touch mine, right? They would say that in their advertising. And but the thing is, it just led to more government abuse and restriction. And okay, now alcohol is legal, fine. But the problem is, you can't manufacture alcohol on your own, which was the whole issue in the first place. Why John D. Rockefeller pushed to have it, um, outlawed, the sale and manufacture outlawed, because it was in competition with his Standard Oil. Now you can't manufacture your own alcohol like moonshine. You can maybe run a gallon of that in your car or something. You can't do that without all the federal licenses. It wasn't about alcohol. So now today, there's a lot of Christian groups getting. Well, I don't even want to pick on them, but it's like a lot of times they get used. They're naive. They're naive. Now I noticed, like, I put out a lot of videos on the war between the states and the Confederacy. Oh, they're restricted left and right. Not all of them. You just do a search Confederate and on my channel, and you'll see you can run your restricted mode and restricted mode on and off, and you'll see what disappears. Plenty of them. And I noticed they've been using this restricted mode judiciously. I mean, a lot. I know since about I guess August of 2016 is when they start really cracking down on, oh, you can't say this, you can't say that, and demonetizing videos. But they use this restricted mode. Now, I'm not sure if certain software automatically that you might have that says age restricted or something or whatever would automatically do this. So here I have a restricted mode off. Now if I put restricted mode on, right, we'll see what happens with Dozer. You're not going to see it. It's gone, right? So, they don't want you to know that the state of Florida freaking beat the crap and tortured and killed all these kids for the last 111 from the year 1900 to the year 2011. And the school was only closed down due to lack of funds. Supposedly, it wasn't even like closed down. God, I don't even want to get into the subject. It's so freaking mind-boggling. Um, but you look at other videos on here. Shit, I could put anything on, even on with a knife or something. They're restricting the hell out of all those videos. So you're doing all this work and you're getting filtered out. And I know there's other games they're playing to keep your algorithms down and all this kind of shit. But this restricted mode is actually evil. It is. I'm just telling you, if you are using restricted mode, you might not be seeing this video because this video might be in restricted mode. But you might want to tell others not to use the restricted mode. Because what's going to happen is it's going to filter out probably something you weren't aware of. And one of the main reasons I'm on YouTube, it's kind of to help people, but I like sticking it to the freaking big guys. I do. I am. I'm sticking it to the big guys. And I'll continue to do it. I don't give a shit because, I sacrificed. And that's not me, okay? I'm just throwing it. It's an illustration, you know. I work, and I don't want to play the game like, yeah, I was a vet and all this crap, man. I mean, I've been hearing that shit. I was a veteran. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Yeah, we're okay. I'm a Confederate, and I'm still a Confederate. And you don't like that? Oh, they restrict the shit out of those freaking videos. Confederate war between the states. Man, I dropped so many dimes on the powers. What that game was really going on back then. Well, they've like pinned all the blame on slavery and the South is all wrong and shit. I was like, yeah, okay. And you notice, where's this accent coming from? I was born and raised 11 miles from Manhattan, New York City. Not in Manhattan, 11 miles outside of the New York metropolitan area in New Jersey. Okay? So, up to age 20 something, early 20 something, I was all immersed into the freaking Yankee propaganda too. It wasn't until I hit my 30s I started waking up to some of the garbage, and now I'm in my 60s, and I'm going to live to be 260 at least. Okay, don't worry about it. I'm going to be around on this YouTube a long time. I'm going to outlast YouTube. But I'm telling you, man, do not use this restricted mode. But more importantly, the people I'm reaching probably aren't using the restricted mode. Tell people not to use the restricted mode. I wasn't even aware of this shit because I don't play around with this freaking creative content. Freaking, I'm not into this video crap. You notice that, I'm not I'm an information guy. I talk very plain. I really do know some things, and there's certain areas I'm pretty strong in. Um, Education wise, crap. I mean, I remember having 99%, being an upper 99 percentile on the SATs. I was in who's who for scholastic achievement. Yeah, but maybe Trump doesn't sound right either because if you talk to this guy, you would think, who the hell is he? But that's, I know some stuff. There's certain things I'm strong on. There's other things I don't know nothing about. You could ask me about sports, I don't know a damn thing. Entertainment, I don't know anything about entertainment. I don't know who the hell the Hollywood people are. I don't really give a shit either. But, they're even restricting a lot of stuff that I put out, some of the car videos. I'm like, yeah, fine. Do whatever you want, man. I don't know what the hell's going on. But it's like, take the freaking restrictions off. If you're worried about your kid freaking watching some shit that they're not supposed to be watching, oh well. Because they're going to use this. This is like, I know what happens. People complain. And they go, YouTube's got all this garbage. There's got to be a way I can have my kid on a computer and not watch this stuff. And I'm thinking, fine. But the problem is, when people do that and they use the computer themselves, well, guess what? Guess what? Everything else is filtered out too. And that filters the moolah too, right? The moolah you get because that knocks down your views. And I've been noticing, man. I've been looking at my channel. I'm like saying, what the hell's been going on here? Especially the last week. And what I found out is, they're playing games. They don't like me because I put a lot of this Confederate stuff out here, man. I think not every single video I put out on the South and the Confederacies has the filters where it's restricted, but most of them are, by far. And I had to put something out. I had to look for the word knife and then pull up restricted. Man, they restricted practically every one of those. I don't know what else they restricted, but they're probably restricting the crap out of my channel. I mean, they don't like what the hell I'm saying, I guess. But what can I tell you, man? What can I tell you? So, but like I said, it's comparing it to, I can compare it to, almost like the prohibition movement, right? On the surface it sounds like it's such a good thing. Oh. Yeah, we need to stop alcohol. Well, alcohol is not so bad for you, but you know what they're really trying to stop was fuel to the cars. Independent farmers that were competition with Standard Oil that were selling fuel to the cars. But see, what they're really trying to stop here with this restricted mode is people who are telling you the angles on what the corporate powers in the major media and the government and, you know, the big money, what angles they're playing against you. They're stopping the independent producers from getting that word out because they can just say it's restricted. It's monetized. It's not flagged. It's not anything. It's just restricted. It's in our filters. Plus, I'm sure they got other filters where they knock you down in the search. You know. Now I know one group that complained about this was the lesbian the LBGT, whatever the hell it is, and YouTube apologized about that. I was like, yeah, that's good. Well, this well, whatever, man, whatever. I mean, crap. But like I said, I just gonna have to freaking just keep putting out more shit. But just that um, remember that anybody that that uses these filters, they're filtering out a lot of information that might be sticking it to, um, the powers that are out there that don't want you to know something. It could be anything. Look, I think I presented a lot of angles on the South and the Confederacy. Boy, the YouTube restricted all of those, pretty much. All the ones I put out some serious angles on, that it was the Second American Revolution. Also about the only Confederate general that the judiciary has that the Washington D.C. has a statue of is Albert Pike, the 33-degree Mason, the old cultist to Satanist, probably, I guess. And he was pro-slavery. He's the only Confederate general that they actually have outside the judiciary. They won't have General Lee, anti-slavery or anything like that, because the idea is to make, the South look like the bad guys, and that's nice and neat package, right? And also put out about the associations they made in the major media between the centennial celebrations that was going on in the South that were already planned since 1957 for the 1961 to 1965 war between the state centennials. The major media did cause and effect. The civil rights movement and the flag going up on the state capital of South Carolina had nothing to do with it. The flag went up on the capital of South Carolina in 1961, celebrating the 100-year anniversary of the Fort Sumter, the war with, the beginning of the war, the bombing on Fort Sumter. And the Yankees wouldn't freaking get out of the mouth of the harbor when they seceded, There's a lot of stuff they don't want you to know. But that's only one issue. There's loads of things I'm putting out here, like the Dozier School for Boys. They don't want you to know that. Age, restricted. Yeah, don't worry, your kids are safe with the state. Don't worry about it, right? Don't worry about it. And like I said, maybe they got some bimbo out there with her big butt twerking on here, and maybe you don't want that showing on your kid. Well, your kid's gonna find out what a freaking big butt is anyway, one way or the other. So it's like, well, that's just the way it is, man. It's just the way it is. But yeah, they're playing a lot of games, man. So just want to warn you. I tell people to take that freaking age restriction crap or whatever it is. I'm not sure what it is, because I'm not a videographer, freaking content creator, yo-yo, whatever the hell it is. I don't really consider myself that. I just give out information in a plain, simple manner. I mean, I talk very plain, but I know my IQ was measured before like 130, 135, and I had it was an upper 1% on the SATs and stuff in school way back when. But I'm from the Northeast. I talk blue collar because I've been raised around blue collar, But I know my shit. I know my shit, and I don't really put the glossiest productions together. I know that, but they're restricting the hell out of my videos. I can tell you that right now. Like if I went and put the word Confederate, let's make sure, Confederate. All right. Yeah. See what happens here. This is on off, right? So you see all these videos come up. The real meaning of the Confederate flag and the Southern cause is the Confederate flag racist, Confederate flag in World War II, and bombing policies. Boss Hogg, Marion County, whatever. That might be still there. You got all these videos about Dylan Roof. You know, I think that was his setup. The Bowie knife, right? All this stuff, right? Loads of them, right? About Stan Wadey, the last Confederate general. Um, Proof the Confederates didn't fight for slavery. You know, bomb insults Confederate veterans. My Southern Italian. Well, maybe I got that one. Might have been restricted. Now, if I go and put restricted mode on, you can see there's a loads of them here, right? If I go put God, I did a lot of them, right? Now, if I put the restricted mode on, let's see what happens. There, you see? It starts with Boss Hogg, right? So you can see a bunch of them already. They got one with the cats, you got one with the license plates, my Southern heritage, but they dropped all of them. They dropped all the real stuff about the causes between where I'm dropping dimes on what the angles really were on the war between the states. They restricted every single one of those videos. See that? So who's doing that? Who's doing that? See what I mean? Anyway, just want to let you know, man, because this is what's going on, man. But I'm going to be fighting. You know, it's like this pack is getting heavier and heavier to carry for YouTube, on this YouTube shit. And that's with their game. They're making this pack heavier and heavier and heavier for the smaller independent producers. That's what Adblock's about too. You know, some couple of 20-something-year-olds didn't freaking just come out and deprive Google, the big corporation, of all this ad revenue revenue because you know they came up with software with ad block. Man, Google can freaking stop that shit in 2 seconds and run the ads. What they want to do is they want you to get paid subscriber services, and you say there's no ads. And just like with cable, that's how they got you hooked in there in the first place. And what they do with cable TV, eventually, or now it's not really cable, it's like internet, but you know what I mean. What they do with cable TV eventually, you're paying for it, and there's nothing but ads. And it's 100% corporate restricted content, entertainment. Yeah, right. That's why I don't ever pay for that shit. I get freaking crap in the mail all the time about get freaking direct TV and freaking other bullshit. I was like, get the hell out of here. There's worse garbage going. I watch stuff on YouTube, but I don't restrict anything. It's unfiltered. I just do searches, and sometimes it takes a lot of pages of searches to find what I'm looking for because I notice a lot of the best information they'll put further down. The corporations don't want you to know a lot of stuff. So YouTube is kind of like an open venue, but not exactly. Not exactly. I know back in August of 2016, there were some of these big YouTube producers bitching about, they're age restricting their videos due to what they say or something, whatever the hell it was. But I'm telling you right now, they're doing more and more and more. They're doing more and more. There's a game out there to squeeze out the independent producer. Now, I'm not a fearmonger, man, but I'm telling you right now, I think we're coming into some deep crap. The game right now where they're putting in, they're already going to freaking do something with this video for what I'm about to tell you. The game why they're trying to bring in all the Muslim refugees, quote unquote, and none from South Africa. God, there must be like God, how many freaking whites got slaughtered in South Africa? There's actually an open policy out there for the black communist government to freaking kill off the rest of the whites that live there, man. They don't just kill them, they torture the shit out of them, right? That's what goes on. You don't hear nothing in the major media about that crap. No refugees are going to come from that place. But they're bringing in the most radical Muslims because they want to try to bring about a situation whereby, there's going to be strife and tension in the United States so bad that the authorities can't handle it. Nobody will feel safe. So what they'll have to do is bring in an international police force, which they've already tried to do when they had I think there was a couple cops shot or something in Texas and something, and they're trying to bring that. They're already talking about bringing that in. An international police force. That's a line right out of the page from Henry Kissinger. Americans today, I think it was back in 1990 or something, he said it. Americans today would be like in horror about bringing in an international peacekeeping force to restore order in the United States today. But if given enough tensions and turmoil and problems, they'll welcome it. That is really why they're trying to bring in all the Muslim radicals. Plus they think they can control them, which they're going to find out they're not going to be able to, because they're stupid. They are stupid, man. And this kid ain't stupid. I'm going to tell you right now, this kid is not stupid. I talk working class as all hell, but this kid is not stupid. But my pack just got a lot heavier here, and it's been getting heavier and heavier and heavier since I say August of 2016 here on YouTube. And the heavier it gets, the more I'm going to take on, because I realize I'm on the right track. The more I load on me where they don't like it, and I'm telling the truth. I am telling the truth. As a matter of fact, those references even on those Confederate videos, you know what my sources are? Wikipedia. That's the most freaking tamed down, dumbed down shit there is. I'm not going on to some Confederate site or something like that. It's probably will give you even more accurate information and show you just how much the game is that they're playing against the South. Well, what I'm telling you is they got a nice scam going. They got a nice scam going with this. And they're using the black people left and right. That's really what it is. So, the powers are using the black people, man. I know they are. I know what angles, how they're using them, too. I know a lot of different angles how they're using the black people. A lot of black people can't figure that out exactly. I understand it. I just wish they'd quit getting mad at me, because I like the rebel flag, because the rebel flag don't mean I hate black people. Don't figure they made that association in the major media left and right. But on the other side of it is when you got persecuted, what the hell you call those guys, the Boers in South Africa, the whites and stuff, the farmers. They're not going to ever let them come to this country as a refugee. It's not even an issue. It's not even on the radar. They can make that a big issue left and right if they wanted to. But that's what you call restrictions. They call this filtering. It's like you could take this guy here, like say for instance, this is I don't know what he's, Army or something, and he could be doing all this good stuff, fighting out in the field, and you could take the 5 minutes he's drunk, or the day he's drunk, and you just make videos about that he was drunk, and you could say, this is all these people do in the military is get drunk and they don't do anything, and you can make them look bad. You see what I mean? That's exactly how they're playing the game in the media. You could take anybody and tear them up in the media if you got control over all the avenues and what's filtering out to people. So this restricted mode on YouTube, it's probably been requested by a bunch of freaking do-gooder parents because they're worried about their kids looking at something they shouldn't be looking at, like this license plate of an outline of a bimbo on here, bimbo, whatever, female. The thing is, well, so what? So what? So what? The problem is that's life. That's the way the hell it is, and deal with it. Problem is, when you freaking try to make everything safe, well, then you lose all your freaking freedoms. That's really what the founding fathers told us. You want to be, yeah, well, I forgot what politician says that. Oh, but maybe not today. Probably today it wouldn't be appropriate, but I forgot what politician says that. If you really want to be safe, go to prison. There you'll be fed, you'll be clothed, you'll be housed, and you'll have your three square meals. Well, maybe you're not safe because the other prisoners will kill you or rape you or something. But you know what I mean. You don't have to worry about anything, right? That's exactly what people are doing by bitching about freaking content on YouTube. Well, just let it be open. Let it be open all the way. I mean, they're trying to come up with solutions about, we'll restrict this, we'll have a willing and restricted mode. But then I'm realizing they're using that as a tool of anything they don't want the public to see, which is a lot of times it's going to open the eyes of the public on what the games are of the bigwigs behind the scenes and what they've been playing on us for many years. That's the kind of shit I like putting out, because I see a lot of angles, a lot of other people don't. And of course, the ultimate thing they could freaking screw you up with the powers that be is what you call psychology or psychiatry, because Trump's going against the grain. Every single psych out there, because all those assholes, 99% of them are a bunch of liberals or communist socialist pigs. Every single one of them out there is diagnosing him with all these problems and shit, that he's unfit for being president or something. That's another game, man. That's another freaking form of, I don't know, coercion, if you want to call it that. So, just going to tell you, people see this video, probably only see it in unrestricted mode. And just tell others about this crap. You got to look at the bottom of your freaking homepage on your channel for this restricted mode bullshit. And you can also look for hacks. You can go Google it. There's hacks, a way to look at age-restricted videos on YouTube without being logged in. I forgot how to do it. I don't know how to do it. I'm not going to go in it, but you can just look it up, because age-restricted might not necessarily mean what you think it is. It might not be like, TNA. It might be something else. It might be something people are telling you that is getting at the big powers, and they decided to make that age restricted, because it's all arbitrary, man. Right now, YouTube's the only freaking thing we got. So I mean, what are you gonna do, man? What are you gonna do? But I'm telling you right now, the soldiers' load of the people that are actually soldiers that are on this freaking YouTube that are pushing ahead. I mean, not because they're content creators or multimedia clowns. What they're really doing is they're trying to freaking help people, and they're trying to get the word out on things that they know are being filtered in the major media. The load on these people is getting exponentially tougher. You got your ad block revenue, you got your freaking restrictions, your age restrictions, your demonetizations, all this shit. They're doing it across the board. And it's all deliberate, because there was an upset election last time. Part of it was with, Trump was not supposed to be the guy that won. I know there might have been some things where Hillary Clinton was so freaking screwed up that the powers that be decided at the last minute to pull the rug out from underneath her. But, I know, like, I put a video out about the Danny Williams being the son of Bill Clinton back in 2013. I know that probably a lot of people later on picked up on that. I knew about that since the 1990s, early 90s. I know a lot of shit that was around before the internet was around, because this kid actually is a vociferous reader and highly educated, whether freaking sound working class or not. I still got the articles on, how McCain was a freaking turncoat piece of crap, Senator McCain, POW. And sometimes there's some videos on that on YouTube, but they're not very popular. But But you know, I probably pulled 100,000 votes out of Hillary Clinton's ass myself. Just me. They don't like me. They don't like me. And not that I was freaking rabidly pro-Trump. I don't really trust the guy all the way, but he's going to have to freaking be kill or be killed, or he's going to get, I mean, literally, he's going to have to get rid of the shitheads around him, or else he's going to go under. He's going to go under. So, but I'll still be fighting on because, you know, one advantage I got, too, besides working in a CPA firm, now, I could still do this a real lot and not have it hurt me, is that, shit, I'll be drawing Social Security pretty soon, man. It don't matter to me. You know? So, but, you know, support the channel, whatever. That's all I'm going to tell you. And do not use that restricted mode. And go play around with it if you want. Because you can look, you could say, you know, you can look up something on my channel like Confederate, try it under restricted mode, and try it under unrestricted mode. And you'll find out that, see, now it's on, right? You'll find out when you take it off, what's going to happen is you're going to see a lot of other videos how many videos they filtered. Shitload of them, man. So, whatever. They don't want you to know that Florida freaking, you know, I said, hey, they filtered the Dozier boys school thing incident. That's filtered too. Shit. Well, you know what that is. You know, Rick Scott's not going to freaking ever have those kids' bones even taken back to those people again. They don't give a shit, man. Most of those kids are black kids too. Well, there's white kids in here too, but most of them are black kids. Yeah, they don't give a shit. They don't give a shit. So, anyway, over and out. Just making you aware of it. So, what are you going to do, man? This is the only venue we got, really. There's not too much out there. I think if it gets really bad, what you do is you go on PornTube. Then they don't have filters for shit, right? So, over and out.